So a lot of stuff didn't happen. I've healed a few more people and failed to heal a few more. So there's still a lock on my spiritual gifts to a degree. A friend came to work and had COVID, and he said his pain level was at a 10. I prayed for him and it went down to a 0. So that was nice. I had a pretty powerful dream last night where it was so real that waking up, reality felt less real. And the only time that's really happened is when I've visited heaven or seen heavenly things. So when nothing happened on Christmas, Rebecca, who, if you don't know, works in ministry with me, she and I went to work figuring out what's wrong, what do we do, how do we handle it. And if you've ever done missionary work, stuff goes wrong a lot. But usually when it goes wrong, it's to serve a purpose with God. So for example, there was a church and there was 2 groups, and one of them really loved God and the other one would kind of bully the first group. They were just these, I think they were like traditionalists or something, just too headstrong. And then the church burned down. And so what happened is the bullies stopped showing up because they didn't want to do church outside, and the people who loved God showed up and the church grew. One pastor told me he was going on a missionary trip and they were running 2 hours late. And the lady in charge was known for not waiting for anybody. But when they got there, the group hadn't left yet because they were having engine trouble. So, in that same note, obviously I was having a lot of dreams about Lindsey Sterling. Obviously, none of them came true, which is also interesting. Because what I had to tell my friends at work is I've had hundreds of dreams and all of them have come true except for the ones about her. So it's very unexpected, and it was really frustrating. And there was quite a few times I cried. There was quite a few times Rebecca cried, because we together, between Rebecca and I, we've had all these dreams that formed like this web of information. So we kind of had to look at everything we knew, and eventually we were having all these dreams to like keep going, and we didn't want to fight them because it felt wrong. Like, these dreams were really beautiful and profound, like friends coming from the future to say, hey, like, don't give up. And then when we would give up, we'd feel like it kind of almost felt like angels kind of impressing upon us that like this is the wrong way to go. And so Rebecca kind of manned up a bit because I was in a bad place. And so she kind of like helped me. And then I kind of got through that. And it's not like I was like in pain or super sad, but it was just complex. I was like, okay, I have trusted all these gifts. I thought I knew I was using them correctly with respect to the training period that I am in. And that should be on the floor. So we started going over everything we knew in great detail. And I would be at work and I would just pray like, help me with my discernment, help me with my knowledge, help me with this, help me with that, help me with pornography, help me with honesty, help me with my faith, help me with clarity, help me with, and I would just keep doing this in any way that I felt I could use some assistance. And so not a lot has happened over the past 2 weeks. It almost felt like everything had kind of died off because I wasn't really trying. So maybe there's a relationship there. And we both decided to keep going no matter what. Because it just seemed incorrect to assume nothing would come of this. We just both know God too well to know that nothing was going to happen. That if nothing happened, it would have been bad. It wouldn't have been godly to not have stopped us earlier. And if you ask God to be a good athlete, he's going to make you one of the best. So we both understood that we had to be good at running marathons. And so last night, or I guess 2 nights ago, I was praying and I said, hey, look, I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to assume that you're doing something with Lindsay until you tell me you're not. And that's it. It's not about me getting what I want. I want to understand how to make people's dreams come true. And so if the engine in the car isn't working, I don't want to throw away the car. I want to know where I went wrong. Should I just give up? I don't want to just give up because everyone who is arrogant or grumpy or conceited is telling me just to give up. I have healed people. I have seen a foot mend, I guess is what I said. I've prayed for people and have their back relax or metal healed away out of their wrists. Vision restored, nerve damage ended. I've had people hug me saying, I thought I was going to have this forever. So if God wants to say, hey, you're a fool, step off, sure. If he wants to say, adjust this, sure. If he wants to say, nothing's going to happen, sure. But he hasn't said anything, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to pace myself more. I'm not going to try and rush to the end. I'm just going to try and be as good at what I'm doing as possible. So that's what I prayed, and that's what I've been doing. And then 2 nights ago, I saw her, what was it? It was like her inner child come in, and it was really weird. She called me Lips. I thought that was really interesting. And then I grabbed her by the wrist and I said, who are you? And I couldn't see her face. And she said, goodbye, Lips. And she ran away and she said, I'll see you tomorrow. And I thought, okay. So while considering that, this whole process is about more than just me having a soulmate, another half, the love of my life. It's about me having the ability to help make people's dreams come true. Because I believe that heaven and earth is more than just being obedient to the Bible. That we can do more than just be punctual kids. We can use the Bible to create symphonies of creation. I believe we've spent too much time trying to make sure we're good babies and not enough time trying to do things like land on the moon, to create wonderful works of, Walter Disney, to write wonderful stories like Lord of the Rings, create wonderful games like Final Fantasy. And so I was sitting on my bed praying about this, and all these things started coming together in my mind, like it's not about using our sense of power to push our will onto the world. It's about using the force of prayer, because prayer just means honest communication. So it's not even about people praying to God. It's about people having honest communication with God. And I've had this theory for a long time that we can get people praying on the same thing and then heal the entire world. I kind of called it my spiritual generators. And then through this, God has shown me that this concept I have opens up portals in heaven, and then God sends angels on assignment, or looks through it and peeks about, or, creates the conclusion to the story based on our effort and his desire to engage. So that's where I'm at. I'm not going to talk about Lindsay anymore. I'm not going to talk about my dreams anymore unless they're like big ones, because I don't want to sow discord and like a disheartened spirit into the world. But I believe, and I was originally going to take the videos down, but I believe it's important that everyone sees how I fail. I don't like it when the church hides their mistakes and their failures. And so I'm going to leave these videos up so that way people can judge my effectiveness and whether or not they want to follow Christianity based on what they've seen. Rebecca and I still believe there's going to be like a Goku level spirit bomb take place. I've had 2 dreams about that. Becca's dream where she saw an angel shoot 2 arrows, gigantic arrows, should be coming true about now if I'm as right as I usually am. But yeah, so going forward, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to probably spend most of tonight praying. And then tomorrow I'm going to start trying to do like 3 dreams at a time, trying to create 3 dreams. So one of them, I want to heal Michael J. Fox. Another one, I'm going to see if I can contact people and find out what they need help with, and then I'll pray about that till they're done. And the more successful I am, the more I'll try to reproduce that result. And then there's this dancing girl on YouTube that someone mentioned. See if I can heal her too. But yeah, so whatever happens, it's important to have good appraisal and measurement of the effectiveness of your endeavors. So if I have failed at everything, I want everyone to know. But if I have, in my patience, led us to an even bigger and better victory, I would want to know that too and have it be recorded. So I love you guys.